Welcome. I'm Teresa Zigmund, your host on this Sew Like a Pro journey, and I am so excited to have Faye with me. I told you before, she's my hero. 83, yes? 82. Okay, nobody wants to get any age. So 82. But is she just not beautiful? She is so much fun. She and her daughter drove up here, and we have laughed like kind of over some really crazy stuff actually, but we've had a great time, and I want to walk you through just like I've done with all the other ones, what works and what doesn't work, and then tell you what changes I made. Now, Faye I've told you before, there's no modesty, and Faye has no problem with this because she's like, you know what, my skin sags now, we need to cover it. Or, I really want mesh on my arms because it acts like pantyhose and it holds everything in so they look great. And I love that. It's just honesty, and it always gives us a really great dress on her. All right, we are back. Faye has a sleeve. And so I want you to see the difference in these mesh sleeves. So over here, I'm going to try to hide back here. Over here, she's got natural tricep muscle hanging because it's a hanging muscle. There's skin, there's fat tissues. Over here, everything is nice and sleek, which is the really cool thing about having mesh. Now, Faye wants me to go in and tighten this up a little bit more so that we have more of a pantyhose feel, and that will just take the muscle and the skin and cinch it up a little bit more. And we'll, of course, I'll baste that and fit it on her next time. I only have one sleeve done because it's best to come in and only cut out one sleeve for the first fitting. And that way, if the mesh is either too long or just the proportions are all off, it's not a big deal and you haven't wasted a lot of fabric. Overall, I'm really happy with the length. So I'm perfectly fine cutting that. The same for the next one. This will have mesh on it, lace. It'll have black lace on it. You could, of course, do plain mesh on yours. I've taken it in some. Odds are good. If this is not all smoothed out by next time, we'll take a little bit more of that in. But this is really, really supportive. So let's talk about the support that mesh offers. Or you could do this in a single layer of this lycra or any kind of accent fabric, really. If I go in and I reach my hand in, that's really about all I can pull. It is pretty darn snug in there. And that's the point, because it's holding up the dress. And when I pinned it on, I pulled it. I've got my shoulder markings right here on the mesh. I just pulled it down and pinned and pulled it down and pinned. And you'll get the details on that in the mesh program, which is in your bonus section, I'm pleased to say. And I did all of that. So I didn't let the dress sag where it wants to go. I shifted it. Go ahead and rotate, please. I changed it so that it would go where I wanted it to go. Go ahead and keep going. Nicely done. So the dress wants to settle right here. And I didn't want it to do that, of course. So as I was pinning it, I pulled the dress all up where I wanted it to go. And then this is all nice and flat. Faye will have 3 petite little keyholes here, which I'll close up with bridle buttons or some kind of rhinestone button. It'll be very nice. But I want you to look at the difference in how smooth this is versus where the leotard wants to hit just by itself. This is not a great look for anyone of any age or size. So if you have really beautiful skin like Faye does and you want to show it, but you don't want the full coverage of mesh, I recommend coming in and maybe running 2 or 3 really pretty decorative straps, which would hold the leotard up but still allow skin to show. I would also not put any elastic up here because you don't want the elastic to dig in and help create the gush. So I would finish this off with no elastic and then just do your decorative straps right here. And that way you could kind of have your cake and eat it too as far as skin showing, but a really smooth look. I am super pleased with this as a first fitting. We've got a lot accomplished. How do you like the support on your right side here?
Oh, this feels really good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. And once she's got both sleeves in for next fitting, then we'll be able to do some moving around, or I'll have her move around for real and make sure everything doesn't need to be tighter or even a little bit looser. But for now, I think we are good to go. Faye is just so wonderful. I thank her so much for being here. This is your first modeling venture, yes? It is. All right, you have been fantastic. And so that is it. We will see you again another time. Thank you so much.